You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. Harry brings in the divorce lawyers. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. So there is the suggestion that Harry is spending time away from the marital home, unearthed undoubtedly as a consequence of someone having leaked this information to the media, that he has block bookings, reservations at San Vicente bungalows and elsewhere, which the media then puts two and two together and arrives at the conclusion that all is not well in Monty Shit Show. There's furthermore the suggestion that he's often left at home, that Harry's wife is out and about doing her own thing. Of course, both of these suggestions are commensurate with the dynamic that would take place between a narcissist and her victim at this particular stage in their dynamic, several years into the relationship, the sustained devaluation. But now, according to the Scottish Daily Express, Prince Harry called in divorce lawyers months ago. This claim comes from Lady Colin Campbell. The author and socialite says 5 sources have told her that Harry's wife and Harry are divorcing. Prince Harry called in lawyers months ago to plan a divorce from Harry's wife, the author and socialite Lady Colin Campbell has claimed. She was commenting on reports that Harry has been spending time alone at 2 hotels, one near his home in Monty Shit Show and another in Los Angeles. Lady Campbell, known as Lady C, told GB News, "There have been problems in the marriage, supposedly for some time. I have heard from 5 totally reliable sources that Harry called in the lawyers some months ago." The problem is that the information doesn't exactly match up with their public face. But of course, their public face is to an extent slapped on for monetary gain. And also, if there are real problems in the marriage, which there do appear to be, Harry's going to have a heck of a time extricating himself, because he has been very overt about all of his failings and all of his drug-taking. Reports emerged this week that the Duke of Sussex has a room kept on hold at a chain in Monty Shit Show, close to the £12 million mansion, where he lives with Harry's wife and their 2 children. Sources told the Sun newspaper that Harry occasionally stays at the room without his wife. He is also said to have a room at San Vicente Bungalows, a private members club in LA near where he attends a gym class called Barry's Boot Camp. The sprawling megacity is around 100 miles from the exclusive coastal enclave where they live alongside dozens of other celebrities. In a discussion with Dan Wooten, Lady C continued, "He's not in a very good position legally in terms of preserving his position, especially in terms of custody of the children. But I don't know that it's got to that stage yet. And you also have to be very careful what you believe, because anything coming from Monty Shit Show can very easily be a lie." She was also asked about Harry's wife's criticism of the game show Deal or No Deal after she said that she was treated like a bimbo when she was a briefcase girl. Lady C said, "Everything she says is total nonsense, because first of all, the show is about delectable girls and it's about their beauty. It's about their attractiveness. It's about their vivacity. Every single other woman on that show has achieved more than Harry's wife has achieved, has said what a wonderful opportunity it was and what marvellous employers they were." Unsurprising there that Lady C would go to the evidence and demonstrate that what Harry's wife had said about Deal or No Deal doesn't stack up with everybody else's experience. And indeed, as I remarked in videos about her admission when it was made at the time, it's quite simply a case that she was perfectly content to be a briefcase girl because at the juncture of when she did it, it suited her narcissism to do so. But then later on, when this is unearthed, it jars with the image that she portrays, the facade of being this feminist, this independent woman. And therefore, she had to try and play the victim card once again to suggest that somehow she was exploited, that she felt objectified, which of course is a revision of history and total tosh, something which Lady C identifies in her observations there. But what about this suggestion that Harry has brought in the divorce lawyers? Well, it seems to be somewhat caveated because, of course, Lady C stated you also have to be very careful what you believe because anything coming from Monty Shitshow can very easily be a lie. It would seem, therefore, that she's not suggesting that her sources are lying, but a suggestion that the information that has been given to her sources may be a lie, i.e. that Harry and Harry's wife have lied about the presence of divorce lawyers. Could it be the case that Harry has brought them in? Well, Lady C invariably has pretty decent sources, judging by what people say about the veracity of the information that she puts forward. But it might well be the case that whilst those sources are telling her the truth, they have been fed a lie from elsewhere. Why might that be? Well, could it be that Harry has brought in the divorce lawyers? Well, that would mean that he is taking action to preserve his own position as a consequence of the way that he has been treated. And that doesn't really stack up with the way that he has been behaving and the position that he finds himself within the narcissistic dynamic. It would be more likely the case that he would do that if she had already consulted divorce lawyers and had said to him, I want a divorce. Therefore, he would be forced in that position to go and seek advice from them. So there is the possibility that Harry's wife has already started the process of divorce, that she has consulted lawyers, that they or she has told Harry about this, and therefore he's felt obligated, and understandably taking a sensible step to consult his own lawyers. So it might be that that's where it comes from. But I find it unusual if he has sought legal advice first. There are, of course, certain victims of narcissists that do this. They realise eventually that they're dealing with a narcissist. They understand that they need to get out. They understand that they have to stay out. And as part of that process, because they're married, this necessitates a divorce, and therefore they consult divorce lawyers. So there are individuals who escape that seek divorce lawyers first. But I don't see necessarily that this is Harry. The reason being, he remains so wrapped up in their awful fantasy, the awful shared fantasy, that he's still subjected to the devaluing behaviours, that I don't see that he sees through what it is that he's actually experiencing. Sure, it may well be the case that he retreats from her, as I explained in immediate parts passim, that he's realised it's easier to go and stay elsewhere until the tantrum has passed. Once upon a time, he sought to placate and soothe her, but now he realises it's pointless to do that, and perhaps he's become sick of trying, and therefore it's just easier to remove himself until the storm has blown over. But nevertheless, notwithstanding that retreat, that doesn't mean that he's on board with the idea that he's dealing with a narcissist or that he needs to get out. Of course, the presence of the children is likely to keep him in situ also, and therefore it seems to me more likely that if it is correct that divorce lawyers are involved, he's done so as a consequence of his wife getting there first, and they're maintaining a particular public appearance in terms of showing that they are still together, but behind the scenes, they are not. He stays away from the house, she goes out without him. Or, alternatively, it simply isn't the case, and no divorce lawyers have been brought in, and it's part of the fun and games at Monty Shitshow to cause tittle-tattle, which is being reported on in the press. Or it could be, but I see it as unlikely, that Harry is the one that has consulted divorce lawyers, and it's more likely that it isn't true, and Lady C's contacts have been fed nonsense, or Harry's wife is the one that has involved divorce lawyers, forcing Harry to respond in kind. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.